Okay. I'm just gonna, we're good. All right. So here we are this evening for our Soma yoga class. And I would like to, I think I'd like to bring into this class tonight an experience of, what does the word like psychophysical mean? How does our movement impact how we organize our brain, the safety that we feel in our bodies, the autonomy, the power? So how do we express boundaries through movement? So feel like that's going to be my theme for this evening. And so I think um, I think I'd like to sit in a chair to begin, and I think we'll end up on the ground. I would also, I think I'd like to play some music for our class tonight. And so you can let me know if it's too loud or it's not loud enough. I'm just using a little microphone next to my phone. I've gotten pretty good at this with my Soma flow, but you can let me know. But let's begin just seated and let our first part of this practice just be an act of quiet. And I feel like the reason why I want to use music, the reason why I want to have this sort of theme tonight is I'm feeling very compelled to move. I'm feeling very compelled to activate myself and to move from that to rest. And I'm finding that the activating is helping me rest better. And there she is. Okay. Yeah, we're in. I'm glad you made it. So I'm just gonna repeat this, just so we're all on board. If you just came in. So tonight's class, this is Soma Yoga, but I'm really interested. I'm going to add a little music. I want to add a little bit more expression. I want to help us to activate ourselves, to move things through us in order to find maybe a little bit more satisfying rest. So let's just begin seated. And coming to the edge of our chair can be helpful, and bringing the legs underneath you so that the knees are right over your ankles. You could even do a lovely little tracing here. So we have these really strong, straight lower legs. Gravity flows straight down this shin bone into your ankle and flows into the earth. It's also going to flow out through your feet and your toes. So it's a very stable position. And then we can take our awareness to our hips, to our pelvis, this really deep sense of self and rootedness and power. You can feel your sits bones on the chair. If you notice that you're pulled up, contracted, what does it feel like to let that go a little bit? To allow breath to move in. To allow your shoulders to drop. And we can become aware of the middle of our body. And there's an energetic flow in this place, and it's an upward flow. It's a sense of power. We can root down through the sits bones, but through the middle of the pelvic floor, through the belly, there's a sense of lift and power. And that supports us all the way up. So we can hold our head up high. We can soften our shoulders. We can let our hands rest. I invite you to close your eyes if they're not closed, and to move inside yourself. Notice your belly. Is it holding? What does it feel like to allow those belly muscles to soften? Allow your heart to rest. Can rest right on your diaphragms, bottom of the ribs. Let your brain soften. And we move away from out there. We move our attention to in here, our innerness. What do I feel like inside myself? What are my thoughts? Those thoughts create emotions. And we can feel emotions in different places in the body. So we begin from this place of being here. I'm here. And I'm just going to start our music. And I invite you to start to move down into yourself. This gravitational pull. There's no bones, there's no muscles. You're just this fluid vessel flowing downwards. And then a gentle push to begin to flow up and out. And let's just move through this again, flowing down. You flow into yourself, you flow into the support of gravity and earth. And then there's a gentle rebounding away as you flow out into the space around you, emerging. And then again, submerging, moving in and down into this deep place of self and then flowing out of it. So everything we're going to do tonight is really geared towards helping to balance the nervous system. As you're moving in and down, you're really activating more of your parasympathetic nervous system, that rest and digest. And as you are emerging, it's more sympathetic. That's more of our action. That has more to do with what am I going to do out there? And let's go a few more times. So maybe we're feeling like I really need to be in here. Maybe we feel a little frozen. Maybe we're feeling heavy and low. And this push to emerge reminds us that we have this capacity to expand out. And maybe we're feeling a little frozen out here, a little fight, flight. There's anxiety and uncertainty. And this flowing inwards and downwards reminds us, I am my support. I can go into myself. I can find that sense of safety and groundedness. And we can flow out one more time, but we'll pause here. And we're really right in the middle of our kinesphere. So your kinesphere is, how far out can you go if you reached your arms or your feet? It's like your space. And we're going to do some practices that are going to invite us to move that kinesphere out. But this one, we just rest right in the center. We're nowhere near the edges. It's this beautiful stillness. I invite you to notice your breath. We could even go deeper into our cellular breath. There's no need to be out there. Let's stay in here. Let's strengthen our inner self. Let's get really clear about what our capacity is right now. Because the only way to grow our capacity is to feed ourself, to nurture ourself, to ground ourself. Your cellular breath, it happens everywhere in your body. Trillions of cells expanding and condensing. Such an expression of our potency and our aliveness. And let that grow in you. I think we might use words like enthusiasm or joy or hope, possibility. That's the breath of our cells. Life. Now from here, let's begin our in and down and out and in. And let's just let it flow. And it can flow out through your limbs. Your head is a limb, your tail is a limb, your arms, your legs. And Let's add some beautiful spiraling here. So as you emerge outwards, your palms can turn open, your arms can rotate open, the chest can expand out. There's this light that shines on our face. And then as we move inwards, we spiral in. Our arms can spiral, even your legs are spiraling in. And in your own time, expand and spiral out, and condense and spiral in. Beautiful whole movement. There's no separation. There's no bones. There's no separate systems. You are simply emerging and then diving back in to yourself and under. If you notice any holding, any contracting, invite the softness in. Invite the sense of space and expansion in. And do you notice your hips, your sits bones? They're rooted and you're rocking on them. There's a sense of push, yield and push with your hips and your feet. What if we let this grow? What if we let it have a little bit more intensity? And we can move into a more powerful spiral, a more powerful pathway. So we start to move our kinesphere. And yet we're still deeply connected into self. Maybe that's connecting to your heart. Maybe that's connecting to the navel. You can choose where you're tethered into yourself. And we could begin to explore sidedness. What does it feel like to have one arm move in one direction and the other move in a different direction? And it could go up and to the side or down. We're going to move that kinesphere. So we get a little expanding and condensing, but it's got some resistance to it. It's got some substance to it. You could add your breath to this as you inhale and expand out. And as you exhale and dive back in. And there's beautiful spirals in this movement. We could start to turn our body in the chair. We could start to flow down and flow up. This beautiful fluid spine moving us through space. And your eyes could open, they could stay closed. You can move from the arms and the legs moving together to doing different things. We could start to play around with using the chair as support to maybe start to lift legs and to move beyond where we are. So maybe we find some lunging, flowing down and up. Feeling those feet as they yield and push, there's power. So there's a rhythm to this. There can be a soft flow in and then a powerful push out. And this is really the rhythm and the dance of our circulatory system. So it's this soft venous flow in And then this powerful arterial flow out. We could begin to add even more complex movement down in our feet, our toes, our hands. We could circle and move through our fingers, finding all those little joints. Now, what if you moved the space? What does that feel like to move the space? Move it out of the way. Clear the space. You can clear it above you. You could clear it down on the floor. What does it feel like to let the space move you? That's different. Let the space move you. And then let's move the space. Different quality. You can be very creative with this. And then we're going to bring ourselves back. Find our feet on the ground. And let's find those nice strong shins again. So our knees straight down to our ankles. And we can even do a little brush here. All the way up to our hips. To our toes. What if we even just took it all the way up? Up your sides, back down. And then what if on the next one we take this slide up and we just let it go. We go, ha, and come back down. And we can slide down this nice strong brush. And when we come up, we can do a lovely little release it. Ha! Now let's go ahead and just repeat this a few times and let it be on your time. I'm enjoying making that sound at the end. It's like a release. Ha! My voice is power. I can feel my breath. Ha! Maybe 2 more times. Maybe you've had enough and you just want to sit quietly, totally up to you. Just this lovely brush and ha. Ha. Now let's come down to our feet. We have this powerful foot. It's like a little trampoline. I want you to push. Push. And every time that foot comes back down to the ground, let it receive you. Come home. Push. So here's a yield and push. We can feel the strength in our foot, the strength in our leg. Let's go to the other side. Ha. Powerful push. No. That's what we're doing, right? We could even say that. What does that feel like? No. No. Let's go back to the other leg for 4. Maybe it's a yes. Yeah. Which one of those does it feel like you want to practice? Your body knows. Let's go to the other leg. Push. Powerful. Now we're going to alternate and push. And can you feel how space supports you? Powerful push, support coming down. Now we're going to start to pick this tempo up. Are we ready? Here we go. And up, 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 up. Then we're going to let our arms come down and they're going to do a beautiful reaching out. We go 4, 3. We can even look up. 2, 1. Let them flow down. Let's do it again. Reach. You can take a breath in and down. Let's keep going. Lift. Take it down. And let's do this in 2 counts. Here we go. And up for 2. Float down. And up for 2. Float down. And lift for 2. Flow it down. Let's do one more. Lift. Flow it down. It's moving into stillness. We created all that movement within ourselves, all that circulation, all that breath. And let's take ourselves into a little yoga flow so we can move back towards the edge of the chair, finding these beautiful tap roots. And we have this strong, straight shin again. Now on our other side, we have this little fibula that goes out the side. I know you guys know that. And can it go down into the heel? So we have these really strong rooted feet. And we can spiral around into our Virabhadrasana 1. And can we be in the middle of our kinesphere here? Settled, self. And then flow out to our Virabhadrasana 2. And again, right in the middle of your kinesphere. Present. And then flowing over into extended side angle. You could also take this hand down if you wanted to the floor. Let's flow back up and flow around. And we flow back open and over. And we flow back up. And we spiral, and this spiral starts from that beautiful foot back there, all the way up through the spine. And one more time, we open. Reaching over, lovely spiral through the spine, extended side angle. Returning up. Let's bring ourselves back in. And change to the other side. Find your center. Find your roots in your feet, your sits bone. And we flow out into space, but we are centered in our kinesphere. Very grounded. And then we can spiral open. And over. And back up. And spiraling around. It's this nice, strong, clear focus. If your eyes are closed, your focus is inwards. If your eyes are open, your focus is outwards, but still inwards. And open. And over. And we'll flow back up. Come back to the center. We're going to take the legs a little bit more open. We're going to start with our right leg, and we're going to do a little pivot. So we're going to pivot back. Now we begin that through that foot, that ball of the foot, and we follow it up. It's going up through the leg to the pelvis. And it's like, I feel like I might want to move more. Pivot. Now let's let it go further. We pivot, turn, spiral around your chair. Your hands can go to the back of the chair. And then return. And you can just bring that foot back. Pivot. Spiral. All the way through to the crown of the head. Bring yourself back. Bring that foot back. Pivot. Spiral. Around. Return. Bring yourself back. We're just going to pick it up a little bit. We're going to turn to the back. Return to the front. Pivot to the back. Return. Let's pick it up again. Here we go. Pivot. Back. Return. Can we find the waves? Pivot. Return. Beautiful. Last one. Return. Let's try it on the other side. It's a little pivot. Return. Foot spirals up through the hip. Pivot. Return. Pivot. Here we go. We're going around. We're going to follow it all the way through the pelvis. We keep going. Goes right through the spine, all the way out through the head. Bring yourself back. And you can just step that foot in, that powerful foot. Let's do it again. Pivot. Spiral. Bring yourself back. Let's do another one nice and slow. So we can really track the entire journey through our spine and then back. And then we can just pick up the tempo a little bit. So we go pivot, turn, around, bring yourself back, and in. And pivot, turn, around, bring yourself back. Let's pick up that tempo a little bit more. And we go pivot, back, return. Pivot, back, return. Beautiful. Pivot. Return. One more time. Pivot. Return. Rhythm. It feels good. All right, we're going to bring the feet under a little bit so we can do a little sit to stand. So you're going to take your weight forward. Feel that power. We're not jumping, but it has that quality, that rebound. Bring yourself up and put yourself back down. Upper body is just nice and light. You can even play with your arms. They just flow through space. And we have these really powerful legs. This rooted connection to the earth. Now, let's take the arms. They're actually going to reach up. And then when we sit back down, they can open to the side. Like wings. Up. And side. You're like a rocket leaving the earth. And then returning. Feel free to use sound. Feel free to use breath. This is all about getting our energy to move through our body. Activating ourselves. Now this next one we're going to pause. And find a little swing. I'm getting warm. I got to take my sweater off. Rebound with those legs. Now, we're going to swing down and up. If that's too much for your inner ear and it makes you dizzy, you can just continue to do this lovely, more vertical. Yeah? Otherwise, are you ready? Let's pause at the top. Let's do one nice and slow. I'm going to turn a little side. We're going to swing down, swing, and up. Yeah? Swing, and up. Swing, and up. Suspending. Can we go a little bit faster? Swing, up, suspend. Let it go. Swing, up, suspend. 2 more. Swing, up, suspend. Swing, up, hold here. Now I want you to reach and pull. You can't see me. I'm going to get behind the chair. I want you to reach and pull. Grasp. I like to do this with my pinky finger. Yeah. And reach and pull. Reach and pull. And you can add your body moving with that. Bring it to you. What do you want? Reach and pull. Complete that action. Move your kinesphere. Take up space. Now could we reach and pull somewhere else? Maybe it's front. Maybe it's side. Maybe it's down. You could do one arm at a time. You could do both. Reach and pull. Your feet are yielding and pushing. Bring it to me. Ha. 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 Now, are you ready? We're going to give it away. Give it away. Give it away. This is for you. It's all yours. You can go give it away over here, or give it away over here, or I'm going to give it away up here, yeah? Give it away. Give it away. Now you're getting ready. We're going to push it away. We say no. 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 My boundaries. Push. Now, which one of these did you like tonight, yeah? So let's do one more round and you can choose. You can grab, reach and grasp and pull to you. You could give or you could push. Are you ready? Here we go. Or maybe you want to do a combination of things, yeah? I'm really feeling that reach and pull. But you could do a reach and pull and a push and a give. Yeah. I'm going to count us down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now just take a walk around your room. Take up the space. Groove your pathway. Plant your feet. And feel that powerful rebound off the ground. And you can walk forwards and backwards. You can walk sideways. You can walk on diagonals. You can walk in circles. Plant your feet. Move yourself through the space. Let me count us down through this as well. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And let's just come back. Now that's a lot of moving, so let's just kind of hang out here for a minute. Instead of going from 60 to 0, let's slow it down a little bit. You can just find a nice little sway with this music. Move back into noticing your breath. And then we can maybe start to slow it down. Slow it down. Feel your shifts. They're very purposeful. as you move from one side to the other. Lovely yield and push. We're right in the middle of our kinesphere again. And then what if we made our shifting even smaller? And even smaller. Until we arrived to the center in stillness, but can you feel all of that aliveness? All of those rhythms, the vibration, the pulsing, the heartbeat of you. Can you feel the power and support of the earth rising up to meet your feet, helping you to stand strong? And can you feel the space? It's like this gentle caress, also supporting you. Presence. So let's take our chair and we're going to move it so that the seat is in front of us. Now, the other thing that we might want to use for this is a blanket. We're going to fold it and we're going to stand on it with our heels because we're going to practice some squatting. And so the blanket underneath your feet helps to give you a little bit more mobility in your ankles and takes your center of gravity a little bit more forward. So we can open our legs, let them rotate a little bit. You can bring your hands to your chair. Feel free to move things around if you'd like. And then we're going to get low. Fold into yourself. Feel that tail reaching down. But your head is light. And then push. Push from your feet. Track that as it goes up your legs, goes up through the center of your body and right up through your head. And then back down we go. Down to the earth. We are really quite earthy in our pelvis here in this squat. And then here we go, push. Emerge. Stand right in the center of your kinesphere. And back down. Now this time we could add a little shift side to side. As long as that feels okay. You can also just continue to practice going up and down. You could also just have a seat in your chair. And can we feel this shifting over to the ball of the foot here? And that push to get to the other side. And then we can come back to the center. Push through those feet, track that coming up. Emerge. Be present. Be centered. Back down one more time. Now this time you could bring your hands to your inner thighs and namaskar hands. And let's breathe together. And the earth is breathing with us. You can breathe the earth right into you through your feet. The space is breathing with us. Whenever you're ready, bring your hands back to your chair. Find that powerful push. Emerge. Be present. Let's open the eyes. Soft gaze. And let's turn our head to the right. And as you go, I want you to see everything. It's very clear. See everything in your space, but just simply see it, no judgment, just open awareness. Bring yourself back and take your gaze to the other side. Bring yourself back. Can we take our gaze up? See everything as you go. You can gaze right up to the ceiling. And back down. Let's take our gaze down, but let's follow it. Let's roll down. Gravity takes us there and space buoys us up. You move into yourself so that your back body can open and drape around you, protecting. Softening, unwinding as you go. You could stay here. You could also go down into a squat again. As your tail reaches down, you can take your chest up. You can take your head up. And then here we go. Push with the legs. That travels up. It takes the head down. So we have our head down. And then pushing more. So we begin to roll up. Your front is supporting you. So when you arrive at the top, you're balanced between your front and your back, present, grounded in the middle of your kinesphere. And we can step off of our blankets. We're going to do one more standing practice. And if you need a wall, you can always move your chair a little closer to the wall. Bring your feet into Tadasana. Let's bring the right foot up onto the chair. Choice. It's really what homolateral is. It's about choice. That homologous, that Tadasana, that's about stability. This is choice. We can flow the arms up. And let's spiral open. Now your lower body, its direction is still forward, and your upper body is this beautiful spiraling around. We could bring our hands together. And then we could bring our elbow to our knee. And then we could push our elbow into our leg and our leg into our elbow and our hands together and start to spiral even more. And can we stay centered in this complexity? Can we stay grounded? Can we stay soft? Flow back out and up. Arms can flow up. We return back, and we're gonna move into a lunge. So we can pick this foot up off of the chair, take it to the back, lunge. You can flow the arms up. You can flow back. Beautiful yield push into a reach and pull. Let's return. Hands to the chair. Step that back foot in. Woo. Coming up, Tadasana. Present, grounded, centered. Moving into our foot on the chair. Arms can flow up. And we flow open. And our lower body is still very clear. It goes forwards, but we spiral around. You could even turn your head. There's your gaze. We can bring the hands together. Take our elbow down. So we keep layering complexity, complexity. Can I stay grounded? Can I stay open? Can I stay soft? Can I stay present? And we flow up, those arms can flow out. And here we go, into our lunge. Yield, push, reach, pull. Extending up. Returning down, stepping that foot in. Tadasana. Psychophysical expression. I stand my ground. I know my boundaries, but they're movable. When I have more capacity, I can move them out. When I have less, I move them in. So that I can have this beautiful sense of yielding. I know how to move towards support, which gives me a supported push, which moves me into an integrated reach and the ability to pull myself towards what I want or to bring it to me. And then I yield again. Beautiful loop. So let's finish with a little Shavasana. So we can move our chair out of the way. You can come down to the earth using the props that you would like. Settling in. Resting into the support of earth. It's not a floor, it's earth. It's Mother Earth. We're related. It's family. And then the space is holding you. And you can flow out into it. And it laps up against you and under you. It flows into you. And you weave yourself into these supports. and you rest in the center. And you can submerge. Down you go into your innerness. There's peace there. There's calm there. You are whole there. I invite you to rest here. Rest in that space of inner knowing. Rest in that space of being. Rest in that place of self. Me. This is me. This way that I feel right now is me. And I just offer you an invitation to stay here if you would like. I'm just going to conclude our class. And I'd like to conclude with Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. And may the thoughts, words, and actions of my own life contribute in some way to that happiness and that freedom for all. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace be with you, my friends.